thinking, that's kind of easy. There's hardly a chance for people to get to know each other if they're not ready to meet, if they're not healed. I'll tell you about me. In 1975, I was living in Boston and I was having such a great time. And I was meeting so many ladies, but kind of like you, I, I wasn't like falling in love. Like the ones I wanted to be in love with me didn't want to be in love with me. And the ones that I didn't really care that much if it worked out, I couldn't like shake them loose. And I was wondering what is going on with people? Why aren't we connecting? And I said, you know what? What can I study? Just like you, what can I study to learn about people? And someone said astrology. I said, oh, yeah, I can learn. If you're an Aquarius, I know about Aquarius. If you're a Capricorn, if you're a Scorpio, whatever. And I started studying, and it helped me. But that was the key to me starting my spiritual life. One day I was reading the newspaper like a lot of other people did in the old days, and there was an astrology column by a man named Sidney Omar. Everybody knew Sidney Omar back then. And I would come home from whatever I was doing, and if I had a bad day, Sidney Omar would say for Aries, you had a bad day. Just chalk it up, don't worry about it. And then the next day, I had a great day. I come home, you had a great day today. See that? So I said, I got to find out about this astrology. And astrology, you can go forever and learn, never
Yeah.
know it all.
Yeah.
So I made a call to the New England Astrological Society. And I said, I want an astrology reading by Sidney Omar. And they said, well, why don't you just get an astrology reading by a local person? Here, we have some great astrologers. I said, oh, okay. They asked me where I lived. I said, Watertown, Massachusetts. I said, oh, isn't that interesting? The president of the New England Astrological Society lives in Watertown. I said, oh, wow, this is great. Um, and give me the address. And they gave it to me. She lived around the corner from me. And after she did my chart, she also gave psychic development classes. So I took those and I was off. That was it. I had to find out how these things work. And that's how I got started. Now, where things really kicked in for me was after studying for years and years. I heard about this thing called America Online. And it was when it was brand new. There was only a couple 100,000 people on at the time. And producer friend of mine out in LA, when I was visiting after I left LA, he said, what are you doing? I said, well, I want to be relationship coach. He says, oh, well, why don't you go on America Online and open up a room? I said, what's America Online? He turned his monitor around and he showed me, here's America Online. And when I got back to Florida, I opened up a room and I was single then. I didn't have much doing at night. So literally for the next 10 years, I would open up that room whenever I had time. And I had over 6,000 detailed, intimate, documented conversations with people from around the country. And so I took some of those experiences that I had on doing that, and I wrote a book. And I wrote a book called Body Traders. Body Traders, what's a body trader? Well, I'm not going to talk about that tonight, but it has to do with instead of being with people for love, we're kind of with them for convenience. The money they have, the house that they own, the car they drive. And that's not love. That's not where you're going to find love. And we agree on that. So we're on the same page with that. And then I had the most spectacular teachers. I had, when I lived in LA, I used to go see Dr. Michael Beckwith from Agape Universalist Church.
Oh,
So Michael Beckwith is one of the men who was in the movie Secret. And he's known internationally. He was a teacher of mine. And then I had different people. I studied the Course in Miracles with Marianne Williamson, started seeing her when she just started speaking at a church in the Lower West Side of Manhattan. Because when I was single it was very hard for me to do the course because I felt it was asking me to give up certain things that I didn't want to give up. And so I eased off it after several years, but Mary Ann was my teacher. And what a strong foundation that gave me. Dr. Pat Allen out in Los Angeles, another incredible dynamic teacher of mine. She taught me all about the ways men and women communicate or don't communicate and the problems that men or women are having. She used to speak once a week in Los Angeles to movie producers and directors and actors and actresses. And she'd get up on that stage and she'd say to them, here's the reason why you're so miserable and alone. She'd tell
Yeah.
it right to actors and actresses. It was amazing. You can't just introduce someone. I've always said that if I'm going to introduce you, you've got to take 3 months of coaching first.
Right.
And then I want to be able to coach you through the process because it's so embarrassing. The things that they tell me they say, the women say embarrassing things, the men say embarrassing things, and everybody's saying the wrong things to each other. They're getting ahead of each other. They're trying to figure out if this guy can pay for my kid's college education. And it's a mess. So not only do we want to coach them before and prepare them, but we want to coach them during the process of 2 or 3 or 4 of the dates. We're going to do it maybe over Zoom or definitely do it live. Maybe we'll do it someplace in between Fort Lauderdale and Boca. And maybe we could do one in the North Palm Beach, Jupiter or Palm Beach Gardens area. But we'll do both. We'll leave it up to you.